All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the We Hate Sports Podcast, episode 270, coming at you on this Sunday night. My name is Billy Cam, aka PC, joined by Gianni, Jello, Bam, and TK set to join us later on. Y'all, it is hot. We're in the middle of our second heat wave of the year already. And the NFL took heed of this and said, let's turn the heat up even further by delivering two of the biggest trades that we've seen so far this offseason. AJ Brown is officially a Patriot. We'll be breaking down our reactions off of that. Myles Garrett is a Los Angeles Ram. What that means for the NFC and the entire league moving forward. We also have to talk about the NBA Finals. The Knicks are 2 wins away from winning their first NBA championship in a long, long time. With game three going back to MSG Monday night, we're going to break down what the Spurs need to do in order to get back into the series. We also have to talk about which point guard we would rather start a franchise with a collection of Brunson, AI, Tyrese Maxey. And of course, a would you rather sort of situation involving being a starting quarterback in the NFL or a starting point guard in the NBA. All that and more on the episode this week. Make sure you follow us on our socials, We Hate Sports all across the board, on our Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Follow us on our YouTube as well. We post the episode weekly. So if y'all don't catch us at least here in the audio episode, you can catch us on YouTube. I actually still have to the editor still has to post the last week's episode. It's been a long week though. Like I said, it's been hot. Um, so let's not waste any time this week. Starting with episode one. Starting with question one. We got to talk about the trades heard around the world. The first one anyway. AJ Brown going to the New England Patriots is official. It's been confirmed. Eagles getting a 2028 first round pick out of it. And AJ Brown changing his number to number one, pairing up with Drake May and Mike Rabel out there in New England. Um, there's been a lot of speculation involving this trade, and the build up to it, everything that's come out after it. Um, I would love to hear a non-biased answer to this real quick first. So, Bam, here start us off this week. Your reaction to AJ to New England.
This one was, kind of we seen this one coming. Um, yeah, I don't know what anybody expected. It's been in the works, rumored, damn near leaked by Rossini for a while now. Um, I think contrary to popular belief, I think that this is a win-win for both sides. Um, AJ was already complaining about not getting the ball in Philly, already complaining about not having a role in the offense. He gets to go to a situation where he's going to be the clear number one. He's going to get the ball. A lot of people consider Drake May a pure thrower of the football, so he shouldn't have any issue getting the football now. Um, Eagles get to dead that whole saga of drama, get back to football. A lot of the Eagles fans on here will probably tell you that they are ready for Smitty to take on that wide receiver one role like he's been deserving of. Um, Yeah, I just think that when it's so much that comes out about this situation, and more that comes out about the situation, that it's really just a win-win for both sides. They had to separate because the type of shit that I've been hearing is just like you can't win football games that way. So I'm intrigued to see how the Eagles respond to this and just to see how much of an impact that this whole saga had on them. Because you can tell that it's had a big impact on the whole organization. And just to see how much of an impact that AJ Brown has on the Patriots, that young Patriots team.
All right, Jello.
Oh man. Um, I'm gonna be honest. It did catch me by surprise. The timing did catch me by surprise. Um, we definitely had a lot of speculation of it going on for months and months, but with the whole Rossini and Vrabel situation, I mean, it kind of deaded talks for a while. People were, saying, maybe it was just fake news, things like that. Um, but it turned out that everything that everybody was saying was true. The turmoil was there between Hurts and AJ. AJ wanted out, and secretly it was being done, and it happened. Um, AJ looks like he is absolutely ecstatic to be in New England, man. Everything is just coming out now. Um, and it's kind of making him look more and more like a diva. Um, I will say that. Um, some Eagles fans are kind of relieved after all of the stories that I've been hearing coming up. But I think this is the best move for both sides. Eagles get a fresh start. Patriots get their guy. I like the trade. Definitely like the trade. I don't necessarily like that the Eagles got him Mekhi Lemon getting out of that. But for the most part, um, I do think that was the best situation for both of them. So
Why are we
no
on the topic?
biases
Because
from me.
I forgot to say this. It has been weighing on my mind all fucking since it happened. I lost a lot of respect for AJ Brown for the simple fact of him getting on the internet and saying, I
Yeah,
leak shit on purpose for motivation. I don't like to prejudge people, especially celebrities, because they humans like us. But that is the most narcissistic shit I've ever heard
yeah.
from
Hmm.
anybody. What the fuck makes you think that leaking people's personal business, leaking the internal workings of an organization would work for quote unquote motivation? What makes you think that's okay in any regard? So when I heard that, I was like, okay, he needed to get the fuck out of Philadelphia because as much shit as people joke on Philly about, Philly is a world class organization. Uh, the leaks and all that, they keep shit in house. So for him to take it upon himself and be like, I'm gonna just start leaking shit, it's just like completely unacceptable. Um, I if I'm the Pats, I'm looking at this thing completely different. I'm not telling him anything pertinent, but hey, I had to get that off my chest because that was the craziest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I mean, it's over and done with now, but yeah, my view on AJ Brown has definitely changed, especially after all the reports that came out with that. That's crazy.
Hmm. TK.
Yeah, there's something going on with my camera. So after I answer the question, I'm gonna try to turn my phone off and back on. But for the most part, I agree with what Bam and Jello had to say, PC. I think it's something that we all knew was gonna happen post June 1st. I think the only part I'm confused about is what Jello was confused about or with the timing. I think this was the exact timing that we expected this trade to go down. Um, what it means for the Patriots, PC, I think it just means that we might possibly see the best statistical season that we've seen out of AJ Brown this season. Just because of the two different types of quarterbacks that Drake May and Jalen Hurts are. Jalen Hurts is more powerful, is more, what's the word I'm looking for? His biggest advantage is his legs, whereas Drake May is just a pure quarterback that passes the football. So as far as that, AJ Brown is definitely going to be happy about the type of numbers that he puts up this season, especially with the Patriots wide receiver room, which is very, very thin. We've all heard the reports about Boudier wanting out. So that's just going to make a pretty wide receiver room a little more mid. So AJ Brown is definitely going to get his targets, definitely going to get his touchdowns and his catches. Um, what this means for the Eagles, a lot of people seem to think that the Eagles are going to take a major step back. I'm not one of those people. I think it does hurt losing a top five wide receiver in your wide receiver room, but I'm really, really high on Devontae Smith. I think that if it wasn't for the situation that he was in with AJ Brown being on the team, I think that Devontae Smith is very capable of putting up similar numbers that AJ Brown was putting up in his 5 years with Philadelphia. So I don't expect the offense to take a step back. I think the wide receiver room, even with the addition of AJ Brown, I think that the wide receiver room in Philadelphia is a lot better than the Patriots wide receiver room. So I don't like I said, I don't expect them to take a major step back there. But we're just gonna have to see how this season goes, PC, because I think this could be one of those situations where you got to be careful what you ask for. Although we all agree that AJ Brown will probably get his numbers, the AFC is going to be a bloodbath this year. I can't 100% confidently say that I expect the Patriots to make the playoffs this year, especially with the tough schedule that they have set for the season. So, um, I mean, I don't know, PC. Like I said, I think AJ Brown, as far as his numbers, he's going to be happy. I expect the Patriots to give him a new contract. That's something that'll make him a little more happy. But like I said, I don't expect any major step backs from the Philadelphia Eagles. And like I said, this could be a situation where AJ Brown just has to be careful what he asks for, because although I do think he'll get his numbers, this is a situation where he may not make the playoffs this season with the Patriots. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how that goes.
Gianni?
I don't know where to start, really, man. Because at first, I just wanted, to say I'm thankful for AJ for those years. But after hearing what he had to say with that interview with Maria Taylor, I lost all respect for him. So you're telling me that you leak all the information just to motivate the teammates. You had a Patriots rug basically your entire career, 4 years with us. When you were with us, you had a Patriots rug there, just there with Patriots gear and all that stuff while you was here. And then you just say, oh, I just, leak these information, leak this about Jalen, leak this about another player just to motivate them and stuff like that. You just don't do that, man. I just lost all respect for him. And it's just tough because I appreciate the years he gave. He formed a winning team. But, man, I just lost all respect. And he keeps doing stuff, too. Like, he's just – and I don't know good year. So if they don't have a good year, AJ could leak out of New England and leak it to media, and now it could be the Patriots gain all weeks. So peace about this, but I just have to say I lost respect for AJ completely. I appreciate the 4 years, but and you just don't do that. All the teammates, I think, in the locker room is disappointed. You could see Jordan Mailata and some other players are saying they're relieved this is over because they're over AJ at this point. Some of the players. I think this is like a complete relief that now we can refocus to football.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making people believe he wasn't real. AJ Brown, I can guarantee you, is getting exactly what he wants when he decided to make that trade demand to the New England Patriots. I'm looking down at the stats of AJ's time in Tennessee versus time in Philadelphia, and compared to first 3 years of his career with Tennessee, where he at a career best in 2020 with 1K plus receiving yards and 11 touchdowns in 14 games. Then he came to Philadelphia and essentially doubled his production. For the people that think that AJ Brown wasn't getting the ball enough in Philadelphia, I think having a guy like Saquon Barkley in their backfield and having a wide receiver too in Devontae Smith might play a factor into that. But even still, even after all that, after all that was said and done, during his time in Tennessee, he finished with 185 catches, close to 3,000 receiving yards, and 24 touchdowns. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, he had 339 catches for 5,000 plus receiving yards and 32 touchdowns in 62 regular season games. I think that there's just this disconnect with AJ and the fans and the media and how this whole thing spiraled is genuinely it's a joke. And one thing about Jalen Hurts and this football team and then about Howie Roseman is that we don't take kindly to being treated as a joke. This team, this group of guys are a bunch of jokes. For the longest, I denied that AJ was getting traded because I thought he understood football first, everything else second. Everything else that's come out about Hassan Reddick, what BG had said about him and Jalen Hurts, the quiet demand to request a trade after starting off the season 4-0 because you weren't getting the ball. There is just too many factors here to make me not like you, AJ. And that's the crazy part. I still, even deep down, still have a little bit of love for you, bro. I feel like I've been in so many situations in my life, not just in sports, but personally, where I think about people that have done me wrong, people that have done things that they shouldn't have done, and yet they're still in my life in some form of capacity. And that's what you're doing right now, AJ. You backstabbed a lot of Eagle fans with everything that's come out. For you to outright admit, yeah, I was the mole. It was for motivation. What motivation do you need? 2024, you set off to accomplish what you wanted to do when you first started football. That's win a Super Bowl. You were a part of one of the most dominant teams in the modern era to win that Super Bowl. You got a touchdown in said Super Bowl, and yet you weren't fulfilled. What's it going to take to be fulfilled in New England? I I would love to know because yeah, you're going to have everything that you ever wanted. You're going to be the wide receiver one with a quarterback that is going to throw you the ball almost every single time he goes to drop back. You're going to be the number one option. You're going to be the central nucleus of this football team. You have everything that you ever wanted. But will it be enough? Enough is never enough with a narcissist like AJ Brown. And I'm just disappointed that it's gotten to this point. I'm mad that all this has come out to the surface because the truth is going to come to light whether you want to hide it or not. So when a lot of Patriots fans start to see that AJ is all of a sudden complaining about getting touches, or there might be quiet reports about him not being as happy if the season don't go as he wanted, or he don't get the ball the way that he wants it. No. This is exactly what AJ wants. This is his childhood team. This is his childhood dream. He's playing with his favorite head coach. He is playing with a QB that is going to get him the ball. You're going to have everything that you ever wanted, AJ. I wish you nothing but the best. Even still, after everything that you've done, I wish you nothing but the best. And I want you to sit in that success that I hope that you get. And I want you to ask yourself at the end of the day, am I still happy? Am I still satisfied with everything that I have done to get to this point? There is nothing more that I can give to a situation that I haven't already said. I'm on the same kind of, playing as Jordan Mailata. Like, thank God that this whole situation is over because now we can focus on football. I got a football team that is still going to be talented with or without AJ Brown. If we've gotten better without AJ, my short answer, no, of course not. AJ Brown, at least currently, is still a top 10 wide receiver. How would a team get better without that? So I think we got better, but are we going to be okay? You're absolutely right. We're going to be okay. Devontae Smith, the man that put his head down and put in the work, he's going to get his flowers this year. Mekhi Lemon, the new wide receiver too. Yeah, he's going to put his head down and put in the work on the field. We'll be okay. Eli Stowers, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and most importantly, Jalen Hurts. That offensive line, we're going to be okay. Will A.J. Brown and that offense be okay? Will A.J. Brown's knees be okay? I don't know. But I wish him nothing but the best. His passion for the game may or may not be destroyed, being a part of a team that now has to work with one of the tougher schedules in the NFL this upcoming season. And to follow up on that, like there is a lot of to be said about both teams, of course. Ultimately, just as a quick follow-up question, what does everybody expect from both teams this year? Who we expect, rather better question, who we expect to have the better record this year between both of these teams, between New England and Philadelphia? Pretty sure I know me and Gianni's answers already. TK.
Yeah, like I said, bro, for the specific reason I stated earlier, the schedule is a lot tougher for the Patriots this year. I still think that the Eagles wide receiver room is better. I still think that the Eagles have a better offense. I still think that the Eagles have a better defense. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are going to have a better season than the Patriots this year.
Bam. Bam.
I'm gonna also say the Eagles because TK said it. Pat's got a fucking gauntlet this year, schedule wise. Yeah, much harder than last year. I think the Eagles really mesh with all this drama out of the building. I think that Saquon is going to have a super bounce back year. I don't think he's being talked about enough. And I think Mekhi Lemon is also going to be a pleasant surprise for the Eagles. So I'm gonna go and take the Eagles for that reason.
Jello.
As much as I don't want to say it, I definitely do think the Eagles will be the one to take. Mekhi Lemon, yeah, like Bam said, he's going to be more than a pleasant surprise. I think that he is going to be the one to elevate into the wide receiver one in a very, very short time. He has that type of potential for sure. Losing AJ is one thing, but with all that drama out the door, definitely expect a bounce back from Saquon. Definitely expect the guys to, mesh together a little well. We definitely get to see if Jalen Hurts is who he says he is. We have a new receiver incoming. We have a Devontae Smith. It's time for Jalen Hurts to show up. Will he step up? I got some high hopes for him. I definitely got some high hopes for him, but I do like how the team is looking right now, for sure. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm more than ready to put a lot of narratives to rest this season about Jalen, but hey, we gonna get there when we get there. We'll have to see how this season pans out for both teams. All right, let's go to the next bombshell trade that happened over this past week. Myles Garrett, y'all, is now a Los Angeles Ram. The Rams have already picked up Trent McDuffie this offseason, coming off of an MVP year with Matt Stafford, coming off of season where they lost in the NFC Championship game, and now are the host team for the Super Bowl this year, revamping, reloading, and adding MVP of the NFL and the defensive player of the year all on one team while still having Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. The trade, if you must know, it was the Browns receive a first round pick in 2027 a second round pick in 2028, and a third round pick in 2029, and Jared Verse as well. All for Myles Garrett. Cleveland, I hate you. Um, I have no thoughts about this trade, except Cleveland, I hate you. And Roger Goodell, you are shameless. This Rams team was already a Super Bowl contender, and they just upgraded heavily by adding the best pass rusher in all football. The Rams made that ass go 17-0, barring any injuries. This is what you wanted. This is not the Ricky Williams trade that I was hoping it'd be, Cleveland. You got 3 picks in Jared Verse. They're not even all first round picks. That's not Ricky Williams. The Saints gave up their future, quite literally, their entire future for Ricky Williams. There's still a future there. I hate you. I hate that team. I hate that organization. I hate that head coach. I hate everything about you because now I got to deal with that in my conference. And for the AFC fans are like chanting, especially AFC North fans are chanting, woo, woo, hooray, hooray. Oh, no, this is not good. If y'all are, especially Ravens, I saw you clapping and cheering and fist pumping. No, Bam, if the Rams make the Super Bowl just like the Ravens are trying to, that's not good.
Look, I don't give a fuck. I had to see him for 2 times a year. I will live with it. If I gotta see him just once a year and we can game plan for that one game, I will take it. He is not here to terrorize Daniel Falele anymore. Yeah, I used to watch him terrorize Daniel Falele every game. I don't have to see that no more.
That is not what y'all want. This is the last type of trade that you guys wanted. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I was
about to say, look. If he is there,
go ahead. Go and see your answer, Bam. I'm curious.
Look, first of all, the Browns got raped on the trade.
What?
Absolutely destroyed. I don't care about Jared
Verse. We cannot say that. We
cannot
say
cut that out,
bro.
Cut that out. We're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out. I'm sorry.
Come on.
The Browns got.
What? Okay.
The Browns
got fleeced. Let me hear this.
The Browns got fleeced on the trade because are you telling me Myles Garrett is not worth 3 to 4 first round picks? The greatest pass rusher of all time is not worth 3 or 4 first round picks. Jared Verse is not that good to just give up. How many picks they give up? It was a first round, a second round, and a third round.
They got a first. No, they got 2 firsts and a third round, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Or is it first, second, and third?
It was a first, second, and a third. He is not that good to just give up 1 first round pick. He's not that good. He's good, but he's not Jared. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not Max Crosby. Now, I could be completely wrong, and he could absolutely shoot into that stratosphere, but as of right now, he is not that good. So if the Browns want to get fleeced, by all means. Second, he is not here to terrorize the AFC North any longer, and I will rejoice because he used to line up over Daniel Falele and just destroy him. Had Lamar Jackson running for his life all game. I don't have to see that anymore. TJ Watt is washed up. Who else in our division? Dexter Lawrence is a little bit of a problem, yeah, but we'll manage that. We got Vega Ione on the line. If I will live with having to see him in the Super Bowl and game planning for him that one game over having a game plan for him 2 to maybe 3 times a year. So I'm cool with it. Eagles, sorry for y'all. Y'all got to deal with that. I don't know how y'all gonna deal with that. Y'all got to deal with that. Cowboys, I don't know if y'all played the Rams this year, but y'all gonna get destroyed. Sorry. It ain't my problem no more.
Jella?
Yeah, that was not the answer that I expected in the slightest. I'm gonna be honest with you. We talking about Yeah, I get it. I get it. Miles Garrett, he's out of the division. Great. Woohoo. Let's start. Okay, let's talk about the Rams. Yes, the Rams are 100% winning the Super Bowl this year. I'm so sorry. League is cooked because not only that, this brings in more than just this. We've been hearing the rumors. Aaron Donald is more than likely gonna come out of retirement.
Stop, 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 stop. Don't even put that out in the world,
It's
bro.
not happening,
Please,
bro.
please,
It's not happening.
please. Don't, please. We
You,
already,
you
this is Thanos. All right, Jello. This is literally
we've
a
seen the
Thanos
report.
level threat. I need us as Eagle and Cowboy fans to put our differences aside to realize the bigger threat here. If they get Darren Donald too, if Aaron Donald decides, actually, I do want to play one more year. That's a guaranteed chip. I need you to understand that. That is a guaranteed Super Bowl. There,
Yes, I get it. I get it. These are some factors. This has shaken up the NFL as a whole. Um, for reasons not everybody can understand, man. It's crazy. This is some crazy stuff. And on top of that, we have contracts that are set in stone to where this team can be built for the next 3 years and be just fine. Like
How you
this
figure
has
that?
Matthew Stafford got what, 2 years left now
They
on
gotta
his
pay
contract?
Puka. They gotta pay Kyron again. They gotta
Puka
pay
has Puka has 2 years left as well, right?
still gotta get paid because they not just gonna rent Miles Garrett. They're like, oh fuck it, Miles. No, they gonna keep him around.
Yeah, of
Miles, you
course.
gotta pay
They
Miles
already
Garrett.
restructured that contract. He got 4 years left still.
You gotta pay exactly. You gotta pay Puka. You gotta pay
You don't have to pay Devontae much.
Nah, you don't. I'm not worried about Devontae. You gotta pay Puka. You
Okay.
gotta pay Kyron.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to pay
True.
Blake Corum.
Eh, that
That
ain't a
they
big of a
run it
loss
back by committee at this point. They run it back by committee.
for sure. But that ain't that big of a loss to them. Kyron is the bigger elephant in the room. He got 1,200 yards this year. Let's be for real.
Who
Um,
else they gotta pay?
they
Who else
really
on
do
that
not.
line? That D line, because it was Jared verse and somebody else.
It's a bunch
Freaking
of dudes
Byron
on
Young.
rookie
Byron
contracts,
Young.
Yeah,
bro.
they got paid Byron
But
Young.
they're on They're good. They don't have to
They're
worry. The
on rookie
window is
contracts right now.
now.
But Byron Young is on a rookie contract.
The
The
window
He's
is
point
good.
right
is the
now,
money
bro.
runs out eventually, and they
It
can't stagger
will.
that.
But I said for the next 3 years, and after this year, the next 2 years after that, they're good. They
Okay.
are straight. And
Oh shit.
like, this is some shit. This is some shit. Now, here's where I get into the Browns. The Browns were actually smart, in my opinion. I think that this was one of the smartest trades that they've done in a very, very long time because the Browns have made some idiotic trades for sure. And a lot of people are saying they did not get enough for Miles Garrett. But I think that this was a very strategic move because not only are you getting one of the best new pass rushers in the game on a rookie deal still, 2024 Defensive Player of the Year. Let's be honest. Pro Bowler first year. Come on now. I mean, defensive rookie of the year, not a player of the year. My bad. Rookie of the year. You get him on a rookie contract still. You get a 2027 first rounder in one of the best offensive drafts we've seen in a very, very long time. You can get either your quarterback or you can get a receiver that you really, really needed that bad. There are so many ways that they can go with this first rounder. Then on top of that, they get two more high first round picks because the third round pick, even though it more than likely will not turn into a first rounder, but that condition, I do like that because if they trade Miles Garrett to an AFC North rival, that does upgrade into a first. But I like this move. I really do like this move for their future. I think that the Browns made a very, very smart trade because Jared Verse is no joke either. He's not on Miles Garrett right now, but he could elevate.
um, Jello or Gianni.
Man, I couldn't believe this trade, man. I thought it was like it was a joke or something, like like it was a parody account. Then I see the notification, dude. It it might be over, man, next season because how you stop them now? Honestly, they upgraded their corners, which I think was one of their biggest weakness because their corners were basically small. Everybody was cooking them. Honestly, it got exposed in the championship game. Then they upgraded from Verse to Garrett because I didn't understand how good Verse is, but the thing is, he disappeared in big moments, in my opinion. In big moments, he doesn't get to the quarterback and stuff like that. I've seen that countless times in the playoffs. So to upgrade Verse to Garrett, it's just unfair. I feel at this point. This is this team should be in the Super Bowl. I think if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, then that would be crazy, honestly. Even though the NFC is tough, it's tough, man. I don't know how we're gonna deal with it, PC. Even though we have good history versus the Rams, this is just a game changer, honestly. I just don't know how we got our O line that was banged up last season has to stay healthy, and they gotta bounce back, honestly. I think that's the only way they have a chance.
TK.
Yeah, I agree with everybody. First of all, Rams, this move just Rams are winning the Super Bowl, barring injuries. You see, I don't understand how anybody is going to be able to stop the offense and then score on defense, bro. Like it's you couldn't even do this shit in Madden, bro. If you tried to send this trade in Madden PC, it would tell you it would get turned down. But like I just don't understand how the Rams year after year keep finding themselves in these situations where they just keep making these huge trades, whether it's a Devontae Adams or it's a Matthew Stafford and now it's a Miles Garrett. Like this shit is it's just not fair, brother. But luckily for me and Bam, like you said, if we do end up going to the Super Bowl, whether it be the Broncos or the Ravens, we would only have to worry about playing him once a year, where you guys are going to have to worry about maybe playing him once to twice a year.
Well,
So,
TK, you play them actually in the regular season this year. I think
God.
Sunday night. Well, I think they go to your place. So, so
Bo
you're
Nix,
not.
just run, brother. Run for your life. All right. Jalen Waddle is out there somewhere. Fuck it. Throw it deep. But yeah, bro, this is it's just not even fair. So Rams are winning the Super Bowl. Like I said, behind injury. As far as the Browns, um, I hate when I agree with Jello, but I agree with Jello. Um, Jared versus it's not fair to compare anybody to Miles Garrett. Nobody is Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett is he's on a completely different tier than anybody else in the NFL. But Jared Verse is a very, very nice young upgrade. Bam is I think, what it was about with the Browns. I think they just want to add another young piece to that team. They've been hitting on their draft picks the past 2 years. I think they have like 6 first round picks the next 3 years. So they're basically it's all about just honestly trying to rebuild the team the right way. And I really like the moves that the Browns are making. And it started with the draft and now we're here when you get a Jared Verse, you get another first round pick. The second and the third is a little questionable because all the stories we were hearing the past couple of years, if Miles Garrett was going to be traded, it was going to be for no less than 3 first round picks. The Rams were not budging on that. I don't think any team are willing to give up that many picks. So you just get what you can. Get a guy like Jared Verse, who not bad, but Jello already said the rookie defensive player of the year. I think he was also an all pro, Jello, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was an
He
all
was
pro
just a Pro Bowler, but yeah,
two-time Pro Bowler. Like
yeah.
his future is pretty bright. Like I said, he's only 26, 27 years old. So that's really what it was about for the Rams. I like the moves that they made. It was a win-win for both sides, in my opinion. But NFL is good, because the Rams, they're just winning on PC. I don't think it's even. I'm not going to say that no team should even try because anything can happen. But yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, I personally think that this was the best case scenario for Cleveland. Um, just to piggyback up what TK said, that just added even more picks to the arsenal that they already had. And yeah, Jared Verse, he's only 25. He actually just turned 25 this year. Um, um,
I'm not saying he's ass because I like Jared Verse, but pass rusher is a premium position in NFL. It's one of the only premium positions in NFL. Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher. He's top five in NFL history, if anything.
okay.
If you want to be, if there's any position player combination that you can be greedy with and like or probably like get it accepted, it's Myles Garrett. I think that okay, it's cool. You got a first, second, third, and Jared Verse. I think that you can get even more for Myles Garrett. That's what
If
I
you
think.
think about it, Jared Verse is another first rounder. If you want to put it in those terms, because Jared Verse is a premium. Come on now. He's only been in
Okay,
the league 2 years, and he's already been a Pro Bowler both years.
I think that I'm being greedy probably because it's not a bad trade. I'm being a little facetious because fuck the Browns, but at the same time, it's like I think you can afford to maybe just be a little bit greedier on this type of trade because it's Myles Garrett. And he just broke the sack record. That's just me though. Like
The thing about it is, everybody knew that Myles Garrett was not going to do shit in Cleveland, so that kind of hinders it because they know that he's not going to waste his whole career in Cleveland, so they're going to be logical too. So when it comes to the negotiations like that, the Browns do kind of got to get what they can because if they don't, he's going to ask out and be serious the next time.
Hmm. Um, yeah, there is a whole lot of expectations for the Rams this year. I feel like anything that isn't a Super Bowl at this point would be considered a failure of the season for LA. But that's just me. All right, let's go to the next topic. Jump from the NFL to the NBA. Let's talk about the NBA Finals because we currently have the Knicks up 2-0 in the series against the Spurs. Monday night, game three. Going to be a whole lot of people in attendance for this one, including the President of the United States, as well as a couple of notable other people in attendance for this game. It should be electric. Teams have trailed 2-0 in the NBA Finals. There have only been five in finals history to actually complete a 2-0 deficit. And the last one was the Bucks all the way back in 2021. So for the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, there is a whole lot of work that needs to be done. Meanwhile, on the other sides, you got the Knicks, who are still riding a playoff win streak. Has now reached 13 games. The only other team in the modern era, anyway, to reach such a pinnacle record were the 2000 Lakers, who achieved that 15 game win streak. And came real close to breaking that win streak in game two, where the Spurs, except Wemby at the end, throwing the ball away. Spawn Castle was not looking for the ball. Ultimately, leading to victory for the Knicks by 1 point in game two. So now I'm going to hand this question off to Gianni first. What do the Spurs have to do differently in order to turn this series around?
When I look at the series, PC, I don't know what they can do at this point. And you lost those two games, yet we're up by double digits at home, especially. Like, what can you do at this point, in my opinion? Now you're going back to the Garden, PC, Jello, Bam, TK. I think this thing is over. I don't think they can do anything, any adjustment. Maybe they can try bot or cat at this point, but PC, I think, is over this because all the adjustments they actually were playing really good until the end of these games. Like they were up by double digits. I think they were up by 14 game one. They were up at one point by 13 in game two. Like at this point, I don't know what they can do.
Yeah. Jello.
Um, I think the Spurs just need a biggest thing, just don't go in panic mode as yet. Really and truly. That's the only thing that they can do. They've been playing a good game so far until the fourth quarter. in these games. Game one was terrible in the third quarter. I'm not gonna lie. They were able to bounce back a little bit in the fourth quarter, but by then it was a little too late. The momentum was already gone. What they need to do going into MSG, play their game. They're playing like the stage is too big for them. And all season they've been playing like, they've been a lot more together. They've been a lot more they've been coincided with each other a lot more. They just need to get out of their heads, get back into it. They down 0-2. It's not the end of the world, but coming into a atmosphere like New York, like MSG, it's no more time for games. If y'all lose three, it's over. That's wraps. It's already looking like it's over. But act like you have a freaking 8 foot tall dude and you got defenders and Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle who have been showing up. But oh my gosh, like let's get the offense right. Like what are we doing with these stupid turnovers? What are we doing with these situations in the clutch where we're turning the ball over unnecessary? Like, come on, let's get with it. It's really that simple. Yeah,
Um,
they've lost by a total of what? 5 points in the past two games total? Like, let's get it.
there are a couple of players that need to look in the mirror immediately, and be ready for Monday night. Top of my list is Aaron Fox. Um, Fox, my brother in Christ. Game one, you shot horribly from the field. Understandable. There are a couple of star players that did. Game two, when the team I feel like really needed you the most, again, you weren't really there. The difference between what the Spurs and Knicks have been doing is that the role players have been hitting their shots. Um, there hasn't really been anybody on the Spurs to be able to hit their shots so far, at least at a consistent rate. Fox is at the top of that list. I got to look at six man of the year. Johnson, who has been a non-factor thus far in this series. You can't rely on Julian Champagny and Devin Vassell to be the only guys shooting the ball for you. And you have Saban Castle, who has to take care of Brunson on the defensive side. So offense has to, come from somebody else. And that falls back on Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson, why do you not have Dylan Harper in that fourth quarter? The Spurs are plus 12 when Harper plays. I don't know what their minus is when he doesn't. In the fourth quarter, I guarantee you, had it been him instead of De'Aaron Fox on that final possession, it would have been a Wemby, what was it, 15-footer for the win. You draw up a mid-range jumper for the win. That's not good enough. Cat bullied Wemby in game two. The Knicks realized like, oh, if we just get physical with a guy like Wemby, then yeah, he's gonna fold. And that's what's been happening. They've been getting physical. OG Anunoby, been there, done that. He's gotten his hands in the passing lanes, stop Wemby from charging at the net. And it's done wonders for them. So when he goes to pass outs, everybody just get their hands active in the passing lane. And all of a sudden, that's what's creating all these turnovers. So there has to be a second shot creator on the floor at all times when Wemby is out there on the court as well. And I think that guy is Dylan Harper. It needs to happen. Because like I said, Castle is dealing with Brunson on the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive side of the court. And then you can pass it out to those catch and shoot guys like Champagny, like Devin Vassell, like Keldon Johnson, who, again, I can't stress it enough. Johnson needs to get going in this series if they have any chance of winning game three. Yeah, I think the experience is really starting to show in a series like this. If you're San Antonio, it's now or never. Basically, it's now or never. You had your shot in game two, and quite literally you missed it. So now game three, it's now or never. TK.
When you look at the fact that the Spurs were up 12 plus points in both games, And if they're just able to keep these leads, PC, they're the team that's up 2-0 instead of the Knicks. This is really disappointing, bro. You pretty much touched on the points that I want to touch on. I'm really I've said in the group chat 100 times. I'm really not understanding why RJ Harper it's not in the starting lineup. I'm not understanding why he refused to put him in fourth quarter in clutch situations. He has come up during the regular season, has come up in the playoffs. For whatever reason, you just keep playing the Aaron Fox who's coming off the knee injury. I don't know if he's just not 100% PC or what his situation is, but the Aaron Fox has not been good. He had a solid game a couple of nights ago, as far as as far as getting the basket in the bucket. But like you said, when it came down to the clutch situations, and you needed the Aaron Fox to show up, once again, the Aaron Fox wasn't able to pull it off. So I think the only thing the Spurs can do at this point is Miss Johnson just has to, like I said, he has to start Dylan Harper. You most likely will have to deal with Dylan Harper being so young. So PC, you may have to deal with a little bit of turnover issues, but you take that with what RJ Harper brings when he's on the court. Like you said, plus 12 when he's on the court. This is also a dude that plays defense. He's seen when he's been on Jalen Brunson, it's been very tough. It's been very difficult for Jalen to get the ball in the basket. So I think that's something that the Spurs are going to have to consider. And then another main thing DC is Wemby. He has to be more aggressive. You're 7'4" for whatever reason. You just refuse to attack the paint. You keep taking these mid-range shots. You keep taking all these threes. And when they fall in, it's great. You love it. And when they don't, we're questioning why aren't you attacking the paint more. So those are really the only two things that I can see the Spurs doing. And being down 0-2 PC, this is not something that we need to be talking about anymore. It's something that has
DK,
to be.
I would like to add about the Wemby thing. I think the reason why he's not being that aggressive, I think, is the physicality is probably getting into him, kind of. That you don't see him driving as much as like early in the game he's driving, but like with the game, how physical it is wearing him down. I think down the stretch in these games, I feel.
In the best of situations, Spurs have absolutely no chance.
Bam.
I don't think it's over for San Antonio, not by a long shot. I do think them losing 2 games at home hurts them tremendously. They have a very tough path going forward if they want to get back in this series, but I don't think it's over. Two things. One, I disagree with the whole Wemby needs to get in the paint. He's 7'4". Do I think that he probably needs to play inside out more? Yeah, but I think that um him he's not the traditional center. I know he's 7'4", but everybody knows he's an alien. He's 7'4", like 230, 240. It's just not feasible for him to be in the paint doing post moves, all of that. I think people get the misconception that just because he's damn near 8 foot that he just go. It don't work like that. People gonna get under him, get in his ribs, knock him off his line all the time. Unless he bulks up, which is probably pretty dangerous for him at his size to bulk up and be 7'5", 300 pounds. That's just not feasible. So I think that for him, he does need to polish his post moves a bit more so that when he gets down there, he's not just like lost. But I don't think that the solution is just for him to go and stand and camp in the paint. I don't think that's going to work, especially not against Cat. This is just not going to work. With that being said, he does have to be more aggressive. He has to be more decisive on what shots he take, when he take them. If you're going to take the shot, take it. That potential game winning shot, he looked like he didn't know what he wanted to do to the last second, got a good contest. If they want to win and get back in this series, they have to go directly at Cat. You have to throw an extra screen at him, throw an extra elbow at him in the paint, get him in foul trouble. Cat is a notorious for a stupid foul into a game. You get him in foul trouble and get him on the bench and get the backups in, Wemby is going to feast.
Yeah.
They can't be scared of Cat. Yeah, exactly. They can't be scared of Cat trying to get away from him. No, you go right at him. Uh, be aggressive, screen him extra. Uh, make him do something stupid so that he has to come out of the game. That's how you. That's how you get back in this.
I'm surprised. I'm thoroughly surprised, actually, that Mitch Johnson hasn't capitalized on that yet, because Mitchell Robinson ain't guarding Wemby. And past Mitch, like there ain't no other big on that squad that can take on Wemby, especially in the post. Um, so they've been adjusting. Like I said, OG Anunoby has, I think, been the biggest X factor thus far, easily, at this series. When it comes to just helping Cat uh get more sets, so that when Wemby does drive, he at the very least, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Temporarily stops Wemby from driving all the way to the hoop. But it's been him. It's been Mikal Bridges sometimes. And I think, like, Mitch Johnson has to capitalize on that. But it also starts with Wemby too. Wemby, like you said, Bam, has to be a lot more decisive when he has the rock in his hands. And there's going to be a lot of trouble if you come out game 3 and it's the same thing we've been seeing the first 2 games, which is Wemby has the rock, drives a little bit to the basket, stops at the free throw line, then tries to look for somebody, who can catch and shoot. That can't happen. That can't happen in game 3. I think that the ball, or that whoever needs to initiate the offense, has to be someone like Stephon Castle, or someone like Dylan Harper, someone that can come in and set the tone off rip. That's how you beat this 6 squad, so that Wemby can post up Cat and get him in foul trouble and get him off the court quick. That's how the Spurs get back in the series, but that won't happen. And it all starts with Wemby being more decisive with the ball. Play up to their experience. All right. So we're already halfway through the episodes. Quick water check-in. Seriously, hopefully y'all got your water today. Especially our audio listeners, because it is hot, man. Like, second heat wave of the year. It's so hot. Don't even know why. My mom turned the AC off earlier today. I'm dying up here.
What's hot to you, PC?
Is still currently right now is still 73 degrees. I think it hit like 95 today.
It's 82 right now down here.
Yeah. I don't even get me started with Texas weather. Thank God I'm living in New Jersey for that.
That nigga ain't in Texas.
Oh, here we
You're
go.
right. You're right. My bad.
Here we go.
Yeah. He in Venezuela right now.
Oh,
Or he might be on summer vacation in like Guatemala or something, right?
Nigga in Yucatan.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully all your listeners are enjoying the episode thus far. Make sure you follow us on socials, WHS all across the board. And I do want to give a quick shout out to the podcast that I was actually recording with earlier. Make sure y'all go and follow the Ultimate Playbook Pod podcast that's covers the NFL entirely. And caught up with ceiling and floor record predictions. And you get to see yours truly on that podcast in its new episode that's set to come out later on this week. So the Playbook Pod, that's what it's called. Make sure y'all go and get that follow. All right. Now we can get into the fantasy aspect of the episode tonight. Let's get into our penultimate topic. And choose a small point guard to build our franchise around. It's had to have been inspired by what we've seen from Jalen Brunson so far, which has been a masterpiece through 2 games of the NBA Finals. Which small point guard would you rather build a franchise around? Is it Allen Iverson, Jalen Brunson, or Tyrese Maxey? No, I did not make up this question, I swear. I love TK. I love you for including Maxey in this, but you're doing him so wrong. You know damn well nobody's picking him in this situation. Like, not even me. I'm going with AI. AI is my original goat. And I wish Allen Iverson had this market that he played in this era of basketball, because him and Joel Embiid together. Oh my God, him and Joel Embiid together, bro. That's a chip. as a chip, bro. But sadly, that won't ever happen. That's my pick, though. Why don't we go with Bam first?
This was such a tough topic for me to answer because recency bias would lead me to say Jalen Brunson. Um, the issue with all these guards is that they don't play much defense. Tyrese Maxey is probably the best defender out of all of them, and even his defense is can lack at times. So that was kind of a factor for me. Jalen Brunson is probably a bit more refined offensively. I don't know if I'd say he's as good of a finisher, but he probably plays the best off of 2 feet out of all of these guards, which is such an advantage when it comes to being a small guard. You get people to just jump on pump fakes, um, jab steps, triple threat. That's such an advantage offensively for Jalen Brunson. Um, so that was at first I was going to say Jalen Brunson, but I got a special place in my heart for Allen Iverson. We watched him lead Sixers team with Eric Snow and Dikembe Mutombo to a finals with uh Kobe and Shaq. It it doesn't get much bolder than that, man. He was 6 foot, 175, 180 pounds soaking wet, just battling. I I'm a sucker for that, so I gotta go Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Gianni.
I agree with you and Bam. Um, Allen Iverson, man. I know like everybody's in the moment right now with Jalen Brunson, but like we gotta be like I feel like more like respectful toward Allen Iverson. I think I will pick him to start a team with at this point.
All right. TK.
Damn, I really thought maybe I'll get like at least a one Jalen Brunson in there. But yeah, for me, PC is Allen Iverson. Although, like Bam said, if you're looking for a quote unquote two-way small way point guard, I guess out of the three, you're gonna have to go with Maxey because he plays defense a little better than Allen Iverson and Jalen Brunson did. If you're looking for a playmaker, PC, you'll probably lean towards Jalen Brunson a little more than you lean towards these other point guards. But if you're just looking just for a point guard that had the skills to take, like Beham said, take this Sixers team that he took with Mutombo and Eric Snow as starters. By the way, I just don't know if that's something Jalen Brunson will be able to do, whether it was back in that era or in this era, PC. But I think that if you take Jalen Brunson out and you were to plug prime Allen Iverson onto this New York teams, or onto this New York team, it's 100% championship team, PC. He just never had the type of players that Jalen Brunson is playing with right now. And I think that if the 76ers did right by him and built an actual team around him, PC, he'd have that championship that you desperately want him to have. So yeah, man, it's Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was just different, bro. The original small point guard of our era. Because Isaiah Thomas in the '90s, of course, was probably the first small point guard that was dominant. But Allen Iverson for our era, bro, he was the small point guard, and he was the greatest small player that I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, for me, it's Allen Iverson.
All right. G. Ani.
I want to add something because the AI, if honestly, PC, if you had a better team, I think you guys would have a better chance versus that Laker team. Just Eric Snow, man, Mutombo. I just couldn't believe that team made the finals at that point because I remember you guys I think went 7 games with the Bucks that time and it was insane honestly that playoff run. So I just want to give him that playoff run because that team, looking back at that team, they should have not made the finals honestly. And AI just carried them even for that one game in OT against the Lakers, getting that one win. It was just an impressive run.
The things I would do for a championship for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Whoa,
Shout out.
whoa.
No, there's no pause, bro. There's no pause. You don't understand. I'm now on my way to potentially seeing the Knicks win a title. I've already seen the Celtics title. I've already seen a Nuggets title. I've seen a Heat title. I've seen a Raptors title. I've seen all my
The
ops win.
Lakers title with Thunder title.
They're not my ops. I've seen all my ops win a title. I genuinely like. I'm not even joking to y'all. I might cry for like 3 days straight. Just tears of pure happiness if I ever see it in my lifetime. Um, shout out to Bob Meyer. So, he signed Jameer Nelson. He is now the vice president of basketball operations. We got Mike Gansey as the president of basketball operations coming over from the Cavs. Gansey helped create the dynasty that was the Golden State Warriors. Just want to put that out there. Jello. Yes, you, Guatemala, Yucatan.
Oh, said it.
You really ugly as shit, bro. Like, damn,
We
nigga, I
can't
thought
even
you
see you.
froze, bro.
I
Like,
know
you
you ain't
just
talking.
ugly as
You look like a
shit.
Cuban Anthony Hamilton. Ugly. No, let me stop. Let me stop. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As much as in my heart, I wanted to say Allen Iverson, but everybody covered him already. I want to go against the grain on this one, and I do want to pick Jalen Brunson. Now, in my head, this was a dumb question. This is a very dumb question in my opinion. But as much as I like how Allen Iverson, was able to take the reins and really, be the alpha on a team that had absolutely nobody and go toe to toe with the Showtime, like not the Showtime, the O2 Lakers. Like, um that just goes to show you the type of player that Allen Iverson is. But we take into effect what Jalen Brunson is doing right now, and this has been an ongoing thing. Jalen Brunson has really only had problems with injuries. But if you put a team around Jalen Brunson with the playmaking ability that he has, he's 100% going to perform. I'm really and truly very biased because Allen Iverson is one of my favorite players of all time. But how Jalen Brunson has been playing these past a couple of years, and just being right there, and now it's looking like he's actually going to bring the Knicks a chip. I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson in this one. Um, the defense is obviously not there, like a Tyrese Maxey. It's not there for Allen Iverson that much either. I'm looking at playmaking. I'm looking at overall the pieces that he's working with now. I think that it would be a better situation to build a franchise around somebody who is performing with players than a franchise around a guy that, how should I say this, never had the pieces to really succeed. So he had to be the number one every time. So would he be able to perform with those pieces around him as well as a Jalen Brunson who is able to share the ball a lot more and has that playmaking ability that he has right now. So that's the only reason that I'm going Jalen Brunson over AI.
Mm, well said. Um, I think all three of these players are very talented in their own rights. Um, I obviously have a bit of a bias with AI being my favorite all time, but Jalen Brunson is doing some amazing things right now. And the crazy part is that this next team I really can't hate on, even though it's much shit that they've talked about. Nah, the most egregious thing they ever said was Villanova is in a Philadelphia school, which is outrageous. Um, I'm I'm rooting for them. A part of me is rooting for that team, for the team specifically, to win a title. That's all I'll say. Let's get to the last topic of the night. Um, let's talk. Bring up another fantasy question. Um, almost a would you rather sort of situation. So, say that we're all talented athletes in our own rights. Would you rather be a starting NFL quarterback or a starting NBA point guard? TK, we'll go with you first.
It was simple for me, PC. Um, Although both would be very, very exciting, depending on what your favorite sport is, depending on, what kind of, I guess, aspirations you have for yourself. But PC, I'm choosing NFL quarterback. And really what it is making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to play one Sunday a week for 18 Sundays and playoff games if you count those two. So a little over 20 Sundays. I, and $100 million. The rest of the week, I'm going to practice, and then after that, I get to do whatever the hell I want. So, yeah, give me the NFL quarterback.
I think I would go with NFL quarterback as well, but for different reasons. Let's say for whatever reason I don't pan out as a starting quarterback. Do you realize how many more options I would have as a quarterback in general in the NFL versus if I was just a strictly part starting point guard in the NBA? Like positionless basketball has ruined, not ruined, but altered a lot of teams' brain chemistry when it comes to how do you win a championship, and how do you compete. There aren't a lot of pure point guards anymore when you think about like the top two teams in the NBA. Like even someone like Jalen Brunson, I would even say like you could pass him as a shooting guard. Like there aren't a lot of pure point guards anymore. So if I ain't got nothing else to offer, I'm basically just a walking Steve Nash. Like that might be me just playing in the G League or going overseas to play for Shanghai Sharks. Like I might be cooked. I might be cooked, but at least in the NFL, I could be a backup. Backups still make hella money. And shit, this may be controversial, but I'd rather be a Josh Johnson than a Lonnie Walker, if that makes any sense at all. Like Josh Johnson has been living off of being a backup for 20 years now. 20 years. Like that's insane. But Lonnie Walker, who I think we all think and could say is a talented basketball player, he isn't even on an NBA roster right now. What teams he currently play? Well, I think he's currently playing in Israel. So like, I'd rather be a Josh Johnson than a Lonnie Walker. You feel me? So I'm gonna say NFL point guard or NFL QB. Uh, Gianni.
Allah Akbar.
Actually, I agree, PC. Like you made a great point with that because if I don't pan out like a starting quarterback, I could be a backup and I could just give input and stuff like that, make a lot of money as well. And yeah, Josh Johnson is a perfect example. I think like another perfect example is Tyrod Taylor too. He was like jumping teams to teams as well. He got to start at some point as well. So like I think that's like a great job honestly. I think because if you look at it like in the NBA, you just said it, positionless basketball is being played. So at this point, like anybody can like put as a point guard and stuff like that. You can just do your job and play for the Sharks basically. So I will go with quarterback.
Quick fun fact: Tyrod Taylor is Super Bowl champion. Who do you win that Super Bowl with? That's all I'm gonna say. Come on now, like, bam,
Who did he win the Super Bowl with? Now I want to know, bro.
2012.
Yeah, he won it with us.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought y'all were going to say point guard and I was going to say quarterback, but apparently everybody wants to be a quarterback. I think this is kind of obvious for me. I'm a football player through and through. Um, I'd be nothing better than playing NFL football as a quarterback on Sunday, just in my eyes. So that's one kind of self-explanatory for me.
Yeah, Jello.
Yeah, it's gonna be starting QB across the board. I definitely like what you said, PC, with like the opportunities, but man, just the status. the endorsements that you get being a starting quarterback in the NFL as opposed to a point guard. There are plenty of point guards in the NBA that don't get as much shine because they are not always the number one on the team. Um, the number one superstar. I mean, when you hit starting quarterback, you are the team. I mean, it's that simple. You get the salary, you get the endorsements, you get the limelight. You do get the scrutiny too now. But I'd rather have that and make that money than, just being a another something, just a something. At least as a starting quarterback, I got status. I got some type of status. Even a Tua, you get status, you get endorsements, you get deals for sure. So
If,
I
if you're a
definitely
Tua, you get bring bug. That's what you get.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jello, you'd be the first Mexican quarterback in the NFL, bro. It's kind of
there's
exciting.
for
The
there's
Modelo,
Fernando
bro,
Mendoza, bitch.
the Modelo endorsements will be insane, brother.
I know. Okay, all right, all right. Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro.
All
Hey,
right.
bro. Nah, Corona is calling your name, buddy. That I mean, it's right there. It's right there on the spot. I'm kind of glad we all said NFL QB because I'm gonna be honest. Like I can't see myself being a point guard. We all seen what my shot looks like. Um, even though I don't even play basketball like that. I feel like I've always been like football first. Um, I don't know. I've been on basketball court forever. Um, you though, Jello, I definitely you're more defensive guy. You would be a bulky. You'd be a black Big Ben motherfucker. I mean, my God.
Eddie
Uh,
Lacy.
there you go. There you go. A Lacy type. Um, but hey, like it's still like I said, I think we're all in unison. NFL QB by all the way for sure. Um, let's get out of here because like I said, it's too hot to be hooting and hollering like this. Episode 270 is wrapped up in the books, guys. Want to thank all our listeners for coming out and supporting us this week. Call up one, check up on them, tell them that you love them, stay hydrated, drink water, stay hydrated. Um, and be prepared for episode 271 next week. We may have a brand new NBA champion by the time new episode hits. So we'll have plenty to talk about. We got OTAs coming real soon for all 32 NFL teams. And potentially more in the future. Um, soon, look, before y'all know it, it's gonna be August and preseason gonna hit. Then we're gonna be talking about college football again. We're gonna be talking about the NFL again. We're gonna be talking about the late seasons of the MLB once again. It's been a quiet season thus far. I do want to go out to the All-Star game. Oh, the All-Star game is in Philadelphia this year. Man, buckle up, guys. It's gonna be one hell of a summer. My name is Billy Cameron, joined by Jello, TK, Gianni, and Bam this week. Thank y'all for listening to the We Hate Sports podcast. Good night.